Now this is working its way to the east, so there is drying coming in the next hour or two. For right now, still areas of light rain in Portland and light rain, especially out toward Gresham. Here's Snookwinds Casino Resort, cloudy skies at the beach, 52 degrees. And here's a really pretty, you can tell it's been raining, that's wet. The pavement there from the Chehalem tasting room camera out in Sherwood, 45, really pretty colors. 43 up in Kelso, some light rain's been falling for you folks this morning as well. It's all dry out east, in fact, 19 out in Baker City. So here's Futurecast. This is a little too soon, 8 o'clock isn't that far off. But in the coming hour or two, the light rain will mostly be gone. And then we expect today to go on to be a dry afternoon, but cloudy, quiet, not bad. Here comes the evening rain at the coast and the overnight midnight rain band pushing through Portland. That could drop a quarter of an inch of rain, pretty good low rain band. But current timing gets it in and gets it out. So that would be we'd wake up tomorrow morning to a dry day that becomes mostly sunny. Really two nice days coming up with sun tomorrow and Thursday. For today, the early rain and then the rain overnight. So much of today is going to go on to be cloudy but dry with temperatures in the 50s. Might be a lingering light shower chance toying with you folks as you head north up I-5 into Longview, Kelso, and even up through Castle Rock. All right, 7-day forecast. Here we go. 57 today, the sun tomorrow and Thursday, the dry Friday morning. Confidence is not there yet in terms of when the first raindrops come on Halloween. But I think at this point, it makes the most sense to assume it's going to be raining Friday evening. High confidence it will be raining overnight and much of Saturday. Sunday may or may not see a scattered shower. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Ron, thanks for that. We pick it up with a traffic alert. New trouble on the east side of Vancouver, this time on I-205 southbound. Looks like a crash that has at least the left lane blocked right now, approaching SR-14. And it looks innocent enough here, but the backup is starting to grow here. I'll give you a different perspective from Mill Plain, and you can see 205 south. Now, not only is it raining, but traffic is starting to really slow on that side of town. Door number 3, of course, shows us the I-5 drive through North Portland, slow and steady there. So between the two, it's getting to be a bit of a slow commute from Clark County for sure. 32 minutes now, Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. That's, of course, the I-5 drive. And there's your look at the Banfield. That's slow and steady coming in from Gateway. Guys, that has jumped up to 40 minutes to get you in from Troutdale west to the I-5 split.
Thank you, Chris.
In Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, you saw it leave the bat. You see the celebration at home plate. We'll give you the full home run treatment coming up here on Sunrise in just a minute. Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers ending Game 3 of the World Series last night with that big blast.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Some Blazers highlights for you on this Tuesday morning. Shaedon Sharpe right there. Big dunk. With that dunk, he becomes the youngest player in Blazers history with 1,000 field goals. The Blazers also picked up a nice win last night. They beat LA. They beat the Lakers in Los Angeles, 122-108. LeBron and Luka Doncic didn't play, but still a nice win. Drew Holiday with 24 points for the Blazers. They're 2-2 on the season. They play again tomorrow night against the Jazz.
Foreman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the clock strikes me. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word and a Game 3 classic.
And that brought an end to one of the longest World Series games ever. The Dodgers' Freddie Freeman walking it off, an 18th inning home run. Game 3 of the Fall Classic between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays ended 6 hours and 39 minutes after it started. The second longest World Series game in terms of time, but tied for the longest in terms of innings. And there's Freddie Freeman again circling the bases as the Dodgers go up 2-1 in the World Series. They play Game 4 against the Blue Jays in LA tonight.
Coming up at 8 o'clock, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with the latest on Hurricane Melissa as the massive storm hits Jamaica. The damage expected as the already deadly storm passes over the island. Plus,
the snow stake's buried. I checked the Timberline webcam this morning, and it's all the way to the top of it. And I think that thing maxes out at like 18 inches.
Also coming up at 8 o'clock, more on the first big snowfall of the season up at Timberline.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 7:59 on your Tuesday morning drive. We've got some new trouble in Clackamas. Highway 224 westbound near Evelyn. You can see a crash that has at least the westbound right lane blocked, and traffic again westbound is starting to back up a little bit around that. Meanwhile, as we give you the bigger perspective across the freeway map, not nearly as bad as yesterday, but a couple other trouble spots remain. This on the east side of Vancouver, that's side 205 near SR14. A crash now moved to the shoulder is adding to some of that commute time now on that 205 drive. We're up to about 21 minutes to get you in from Padden Parkway, 30 minutes the I-5 commute, Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Rod?
Chris, I think it's a safe statement that many of the roads in the Portland, Salem, Vancouver area, especially Portland up into Vancouver, are a little damp. It's been really light rain move in. It's now actually exiting and moving east away from downtown Portland. There's our Vancouver live camera from the springs at the waterfront. Temperature is 49. We have light rain in the area. It will be ending. Much of today goes on to simply be cloudy, dry, and 57 for a high.
Right Right now on KGW Plus, Starbucks baristas across the country, including here in Oregon, rally as union negotiations continue. What they're asking the company for as potential strike looms. Plus,
the volume is obviously significant, which was the surprising part.
Talking about thousands of layoffs at Amazon as the company turns to AI to streamline its business. Then,
this is as strong and serious a storm as we've ever contemplated. Now is not the time to panic, but it is the time to complete your plans and preparations.
we are tracking Hurricane Melissa as the monster storm approaches landfall in Jamaica. How residents and tourists are hunkering down as the storm passes over and later.
In Los Angeles, Foreman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch strikes me. Freeman has ended it.
Apparently Freddie Freeman was ready for bedtime. An incredible way to end a World Series marathon. We'll have more on the Dodgers' 18-inning walk-off victory later this hour as we kick off the 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We'll bring Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill in the mix. Rod, take your batting stance and give us your best swing to replicate Freddie Freeman's game winner last night. Oh, yeah, baby. That's way out of here.
Oh, yeah. I think I pulled something. I can't move it back. It's stuck in this position.
Medic.
Pinch hitter.
All right. Well, we've had some light rain out there. Good morning to you. Is it time? Yeah, it's time to get you out the door. I wasn't sure if the Jew and China
Maybe the lefty.
or not. Okay, here we go. The light rain that we've had move across I-5 is starting to push to the east out away from the city. You can see it on radar right here. Even the coast is now drying out. Astoria has seen hours of at least some light rainfall. I think a lot of this is going to be traceable amounts only to maybe 1/100th of an inch of rain. If you look at the bottom of your screen, the pavement down Salem, it's hard to tell if that's wet or not. Radar is showing some traces of rain around our capital. The observation is dry, 45 degrees. We have seen some light rain move through Portland, but again, the pavement is just barely damp. Just shows you how light the raindrops have been. 49 is the number. Rain chance ending in the coming hour, already ending across the area right now slowly. So we'll go on to be cloudy and really pretty nice outside. 57 the expected high. Here's Chris.
Thank you for that. Let's pick it up on the east side of Vancouver. We've got a crash right now on 205 southbound. It's between Mill Plain and SR14. Looks like WashDOT and WSP have got that moved to the shoulder, so good news there, indicating hopefully no injuries at this point. But the I-205 drive is a little slow, and I can show you that right now. It extends back past Mill Plain towards SR 500. So this is a bit of an unusual slow spot. Your drive out of Clark County, a little busy on 205 now, up to 24 minutes. Patton Parkway to the Banfield. I-5 slow and steady over the Interstate Bridge. And last but not least, there's I-84 westbound. It's not great. It's not nearly as bad as yesterday, but it's pretty busy right now coming in from the Gateway District. Guys, the total trip from Troutdale right now averaging about a half an hour.
Chris. We'll have more from Chris a little bit later. Right now, though, we want to get to our top story this hour. Starbucks workers across the country are hitting the picket lines this week to push for better wages and more staff.
That includes some workers in our area, including Portland and Hillsborough. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from a Starbucks along Southeast Division. So, Thomas, what have workers told you about this possible strike?
Yeah, well, guys, employees say that they're not asking for much. They're just asking for pay that's higher than minimum wage, as well as higher levels of staffing. Workers say that when there are higher staffing levels, they're able to stay on a consistent shift instead of switching back and forth between different shifts each week. One union worker we spoke with named Maggie Bolden adds that many workers have a second or even a third job to get by. Right now, she says workers are making minimum wage here at the store on Division. Employees say a new contract with Starbucks is about 90% complete, though. Still, they say there's a couple of things Starbucks is stalling on.
If Starbucks can increase that wage, even just so that we can afford our groceries, our rent, working full time here, that we won't need to get another job somewhere else.
Workers are currently voting whether to strike. It's not clear when a decision will be made. We did hear from Starbucks, who tells us they offer the best job in retail. Wages and benefits can equate to more than $30 an hour. Part-time workers can also receive health care, even equity in the company, guys. And a spokesperson for Starbucks tells us as well, on top of those benefits, they're also adding another $500 million into their workforce to help increase staffing during busier times of day. Drew, China.
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning in Southeast Portland. Meanwhile, some more business news here. Amazon announced this morning that it plans to lay off roughly 14,000 corporate workers. It's the largest round of layoffs at the company in years. Amazon says the change is really about doing things faster and more efficiently across the board. In other words, the company says it wants to fully utilize and ramp up spending on artificial intelligence. Tech industry experts say they're not surprised by massive layoffs like this one at Amazon, with companies investing tens of billions of dollars in AI.
These are big investments, and so I think these companies are realizing what the potential is, but obviously they're trying to manage today's profit and loss of the company.
A memo was made public on Amazon's website just a few hours ago. It outlines what laid-off workers can expect. So most impacted employees will have 90 days to look for another role internally. Those workers will be given priority in hiring for existing job openings. And for workers who can't find another job in the company or choose not to, they will be offered severance pay, outplacement services, and extended health insurance benefits.
We are learning more about the shooting in Northeast Vancouver Sunday morning. It happened just after 8 at the Alderbrook Apartments. Authorities say that a man was shot and killed while in the front seat of a car. 2 masked men were seen near the victim's car before driving off. And the Clark County Sheriff's Office says that they believe that they now located the vehicle that they were in. We spoke to some neighbors who say they are considering moving.
Kind of want to get out of this area because it's the 3rd event in this general, like within our 10-minute radius.
We always felt like this apartment complex was a little like standalone, because if you just walk anywhere outside, it does seem a little more crazy.
So far, the victim's name has not been released.
3 men are behind bars this morning after they allegedly beat a 50-year-old passenger on a TriMet bus.
KGW's Alma McCarty has more on how it all unfolded.
At Southeast 142nd and Stark.
It's shocking in the sense that it was so out of proportion to the situation that was going on.
A brutal attack at this stop following, deputies say, a disagreement.
There's a multi-person fight on the bus.
They began punching and slapping him, and at one point, at least one of them was stomping on his head.
The alleged assault by 3 men on a passenger, a 50-year-old man who was trying to get to work. According to court documents, those 3 suspects tried to board the bus, but one of them was smoking. The driver told him he couldn't do that, leading to a delay. That delay upsetting the victim, officers reported. After a back and forth, the victim rushed forward, trying to shoo them off. But a fight broke out instead.
And they're still fighting, and police are responding.
The reaction was just way, way out of proportion, and they're charged with attempted murder for their actions.
The 3 people have now walked away from the bus, but the person is still down on the ground in front of the doorway.
Transit police arrested all 3 suspects soon after, as paramedics brought the victim to the hospital.
He was beat up by 3 unknown individuals. He was witnessed by the bus driver. It looks like they punched him several times. They did take turns stomping on his head.
Meantime, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, which leads the multi-agency transit police unit, stresses they want riders to feel safe on TriMet.
TriMet provides over 1 million rides a year, and these really heinous assaults are very rare.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
In other news this morning, Portland police say they were able to break up 2 separate street takeover events this past weekend. The first one happened around 10 o'clock Friday night on North Columbia Boulevard. About 10 cars were involved there. Officers detained 1 driver who was cited for reckless driving. They also had his car towed. The second street takeover this past weekend happened just before 1 a.m. on Sunday morning, right near the Moda Center and Rose Quarter Transit Center. Police say multiple cars were performing dangerous stunts where people lit fireworks. They blocked all lanes of traffic. They also disrupted transit service. Another driver was taken into custody there after he drifted around the intersection of Northeast Multnomah and Interstate Avenue and then ran into a police car.
Your time now is 8:09. We are taking a beautiful live look out from our sky cam up at Timberline Lodge. Isn't that so pretty?
It actually looks like something, I don't know, for some reason this reminded me of the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. I don't know why. Like,
Because he was on top of a hill.
yeah, looking down at the Whoville.
Yeah.
It's a very Christmassy ride.
Yeah, very snowy. China pegged it on top of a hill. You got snow.
Are you doing an impersonation of a Whoville resident?
Yeah.
You have to get out of your chair, walk up to the camera, and really give him a close-up because I don't.
Oh,
Ryan's
okay,
trying.
okay,
What's
here we
the,
go.
what's the little girl's name? Cindy Lou, is that right?
Cindy Lou.
Cindy Lou,
Three,
yeah.
2, 1. You can't. Wow, you can't laugh, Cindy.
Hold on. No? Okay. Well, that was fun.
That was a, thank you, China, for your participation in today's show.
I've been doing this since I was a kid.
30 up at Timberline right now. Radar's showing there's a touch of light moisture getting ready to hit the mountain. Snow level is about 7,000 feet. So what does that mean? It means that it's probably going to be a mixed bag of maybe some ice pellets, light precip up there this morning. But even up at Timberline, this will be traceable amounts of moisture, and it's all moving off to the east. Portland, we've had light rain. Now we're starting to dry out. There are some sprinkles kind of scattered back to our west. But I still think today goes forward as mainly a dry, cloudy, light wind Tuesday. Here are the clouds from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in a low of 49 degrees. At the top of the hour, still some light raindrops being reported. This has just been so pretty this fall. The colors from the Capitol Mall down in Salem. McNary Field has been reporting dry weather. 45 is your number under the clouds. Portland had a touch of light rain, but now the city's starting to dry out. 48 in downtown, 45 in Westland, 45 also in Happy Valley, and we'll drop down south. Silverton, good morning, 43 is your number. All right, so we've had the light rain touch this morning. But outside of Astoria and areas to our north, this should be a cloudy, dry afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s on the west side. Increasing cloud cover moving out east. Could be an overcast day over in Bend as well, but staying dry today. There's a rain band that will come in overnight tonight. Current timing says about midnight. Some heavy rain quickly hits Portland, then it's gone. That leaves us with a becoming mostly sunny Wednesday, a sunny Thursday. And then we have cloudy skies on Friday, which is Halloween. A dry morning at some point in the afternoon into the evening. The next round of rain will arrive. Hey, and so potentially a wet evening for trick-or-treaters, potentially. All right, my winter outlook is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day. 6:45, 8:45, we'll present that for you. I think you'll find it interesting in terms of there's a month that I think has the best chance to be a snow event. Last winter, we only had 3 inches. I think we get more this winter. That's a bit of a tease. That's tomorrow on my winter outlook. Here's Chris.
Now I'm intrigued. All eyes and ears for the winter outlook tomorrow. All right, let's pick it up in Tualatin right now. Your drive right now, northbound I-5, a little slow through the 205 interchange, but nothing like yesterday. I'm happy to tell you that, at least on the south and west side of town. We're not looking at the big delays like yesterday. That said, there are some slow spots. Here's 217 out near 99W. We've got traffic puttering along at about 10, 12 miles an hour both directions. The drive in from Hillsborough right now, averaging about 37 minutes, so that's a little slow right now. And the I-5 commute from Clark County, slow and steady over the Interstate Bridge. 32 minutes right now gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont. Drew?
Thank you, Chris. Still ahead on Sunrise, tracking Melissa as the Category 5 hurricane makes landfall in Jamaica as the strongest storm to ever hit the island. How severe the damage is expected to be, plus what local tourists are doing to stay safe. Then later.
I'm Tracy Wilkins in Washington. We are tracking President Trump's trip through Asia. Deals made already, how the markets are responding, and what we can expect when he gets to China. Next.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Hurricane Melissa is expected to make landfall in minutes in Jamaica as a Category 5 hurricane, the strongest storm to ever hit the island.
Officials are warning the damage from Hurricane Melissa will be catastrophic, adding that the time to evacuate is now over. NBC's George Solis has more from Jamaica.
Hurricane Melissa is taking direct aim at Jamaica, with tourists stranded on the island and residents hunkering down.
We are real worried because it might just rip the whole place apart.
Melissa has already claimed lives there ahead of its arrival.
We've had 3 deaths related to the preparation of the storm.
Even before the powerful storm's arrival, its presence is being felt.
We will have a storm surge above 17 feet in many areas. We will have between 30 and 40 inches of rain in many areas. And you will have 160-mile-an-hour winds. That is a risk to life, livelihood, and to even modern infrastructure.
Winds whipping up and the rain coming in, water washing over this bridge.
Hurricane sounds horrible outside. It just sounds as if somebody's pouring buckets and buckets of water.
This stunning satellite image capturing lightning flashes inside Melissa's eye wall. The storm so powerful, even a NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft had to turn back. Local shelters taking in those at risk. And Americans from the Cajun Navy on standby to help out.
There's going to be, people could be trapped for months. This storm is more powerful than Hurricane Maria, more powerful than Katrina.
While some tourists left the island, others forced to ride out the storm.
You know, I got my wife and kids here, also got my mom, my parents. You know, as long as we get through the wind and the rain and everybody is safe, that's all I ask for.
Tell you what, modern technology, the imagery that NOAA releases, you see some where you could see the almost the wall of the eye wall itself vertically, is pretty amazing. The problem is, if we can, go ahead and get to the weather wall. Remember, when you look at hurricanes, here's the eye. So the Hurricane Center is now phrasing this as the storm is now moving onshore. They've got sustained hurricane force winds of 70+ mile-per-hour winds. The eye literally just starting to kiss the shore. Here's Kingston, where the airport is. But remember, the worst of the storm is always on the front side, or in this case, be the northeast quadrant. So the whole area is just going to get really hard hit, the entire island. And that's happening right now. Heavy rains definitely engulfing the island right now. And where this eye wall hits, there will be a period of sustained winds well over 100 miles per hour, I would say with certainty, and gust that could be at least 130, 140 plus. And if you get up into any elevation at all, I'm really not familiar with the topography of Jamaica, you would have stronger winds. Again, the track of this measured 185 mile per hour sustained winds. That's generally where they measure that peak wind speeds is about 2,000 feet above sea level. So it's up a little bit. And the gusting as high as 220. It's really tough to imagine. This is one of the strongest hurricanes we've ever seen in the Atlantic Basin. Now, the track will take it as a strong Category 4 storm up into Cuba early tomorrow morning, and then weaken as it pushes across Cuba, and then eventually it moves out well away from the U.S. So this is never going to get close to the United States, but it is going to be catastrophic. Let's just hope we can get through this in Jamaica with no loss of life and just, damage to things, if you will, or structures, because there will be that. All right, radar right now. The bulk of the light rain is actually starting to push east away from us in Portland. Still a light rain area over Longview. Astoria has kind of dried out, but radar is still showing there's some sprinkles back to the west. Here's the view from the Vancouver, the Springs at the Waterfront camera looking to the east, and you can see it's cloudy, and they've got some fall colors down there along the waterfront as well. And at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock, still reporting some raindrops along the Columbia Pearson Airfield in Vancouver. 49 out of PDX, mid-40s Salem, Kelso, 50 at the coast, 39 in Bend, 20s out in Baker City and Burns. It will be a dry day east of the Cascades with increasing clouds. I think Central Oregon will become cloudy. Our rain chances are now starting to fizzle. So most of today for Portland, Salem, and Vancouver, and even Newport, will simply be cloudy but dry. I think there's a lingering chance of maybe there could be a touch of some light moisture up to the north here at some point. Here's this evening. Now remember, we have the front coming in overnight tonight. Current timing shows midnight that front hits Portland, and then by tomorrow morning it's all gone, and we actually have a couple of really nice days coming up. So right now, temperatures are in the 40s. We'll get up to about 57. Most of today will be dry but cloudy. Sunshine 60 the next couple of days. The cloudy Halloween with a dry morning and then developing rain in the afternoon into the night and a rainy Saturday. That's your update. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We've got some new trouble on the Sunset out in the Bethany area, inbound Highway 26. It's just out of the range of the camera here, but there's a disabled vehicle on the eastbound side of the freeway. At least one eastbound lane is blocked right now, and here's the lineup right now. It's out past Tannisbourne, out past 185th. So that drive's going to take folks a few extra minutes. In fact, we're up to 36 minutes now to get you in from Brookwood Parkway to the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Meanwhile, out of Clark County, I-205 improving after an earlier crash. And as always, the I-5 lineup this time of the morning typically starts right around SR 500. And there you go. Pretty normal stuff there. Slow and steady. 32 minutes that drive in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. China?
Thank you, Chris. Still ahead on Sunrise, President Trump in Asia working to seal trade deals with Japan and South Korea and turning up the heat on China over fentanyl. Plus, the new pressure on Vice President J.D. Vance as the government shutdown drags on.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
President Trump is meeting with Japan's new prime minister for the first time today in an effort to strengthen trade ties with the country.
This as he gets ready to finalize trade talks with China. NBC's Tracy Wilkins has the latest.
But I congratulate you.
President Donald Trump continues his 7-day trip through Asia. Topping the agenda at every stop is trade, with negotiators still ironing out the details of pacts made with South Korea and taking steps toward agreements with China and Malaysia. Already, President Trump, his Commerce Secretary, and U.S. Ambassador to Japan touted $490 billion in new investments in the U.S. and saying this about tariffs.
The tariffs have been so good. We're taking in trillions and trillions of dollars.
Trump met with Japan's newly elected prime minister, who is navigating the country's pledge of hundreds of billions of dollars in funding for American projects in hopes of avoiding higher tariffs.
We're just signing a new deal, and it's a very fair deal, and we look forward to welcoming Japan into the United States and a continuation, and it's something that everybody is very, very excited about.
Chinese delegations were meeting over the weekend to find a way to also avoid higher tariffs after Trump threatened a 100% increase on Chinese goods. During his upcoming meeting with President Xi, Trump said he also plans to raise the issue of fentanyl, accusing China of failing to curb its flow into the U.S. Meanwhile, back at home, Vice President J.D. Vance is preparing to meet with fellow Republicans to discuss the shutdown. The largest union representing federal workers is calling for an end, pressuring Democrats, while federal workers are feeling the brunt.
It's a lot of uncertainty. Bills continue to pile up. I have car notes, I have children to feed, I have a family to take care of, I have a mortgage to pay. So it's a lot of uncertainty.
Back to President Trump's trip through Asia. The markets are responding. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all hit record highs Monday, driven by optimism that President Trump and China's President Xi will strike a deal on trade when they meet in South Korea on Thursday. In Washington, I'm Tracy Wilkins, NBC News. Back to you.
Thank you, Tracy. State Senator Christine Drazan, once again running for governor of Oregon. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll look at her last run for governor and some of the promises she's making if she wins this time around. Plus,
in Los Angeles.
Oh. Yeah, you saw the ball leave the bat. You're seeing the celebration at home. Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers ends one of the longest games in World Series history with an 18th inning blast. We'll give you the full highlight coming up on Sunrise.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. Starbucks workers across the country are picketing for better wages and staffing. Unionized shops in Southeast Portland and Hillsborough will be part of the picket lines today as workers consider a full-blown strike. They're asking for pay above minimum wage and slightly higher levels of staffing. Workers are currently voting on whether to strike, but it's not clear when a decision will be made. Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
Well, it's a cloudy start. Most of us have seen it, sprinkles and or some light rain. A lot of that, most of it, for Portland anyway, is now moving off to the east. You can still see some light rain up around Longview. Here's the camera from the Springs of the waterfront. Looking at the Columbia and the I-5 bridge, 47 degrees at the top of the hour. There were still some raindrops falling at Pearson Airfield in Vancouver. Most of today goes on to be dry, including the noon hour, including this afternoon, 57 at 5 p.m. There's that rain band that hits about midnight tonight, but current timing says that's out of here by tomorrow morning. If that's true, Wednesday becomes mostly sunny, Thursday is sunny, and then we have clouds and developing rain on Halloween Friday.
sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the clock strikes me. Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
I mean, what an ending, right? That brought an end to one of the longest games in World Series history. The Dodgers' Freddie Freeman with the walk-off 18th inning home run. Damn. Game 3 of the Fall Classic between the Dodgers and Blue Jays ended 6 hours and 39 minutes after it started. It's the second longest World Series game in terms of time played, but it's tied for the longest ever in terms of innings played. The Dodgers lead the World Series 2-1, and tonight they will have Shohei Ohtani on the mound for Game 4. The Blue Jays counter with Shane Bieber. Game 4 once again in LA tonight. Now I'm wondering, gang, if the rumors are true, Shohei Ohtani may pitch tonight's game bare-chested.
What?
No jersey. And how could he? Because I got his jersey.
Oh, here it comes.
See, that's why he may not have it.
Oh, I see.
Look at this, Shohei, and he's got, it's his name in Japanese.
Yeah.
On the back there.
Don't you think his arms are tired from all those hits that he had last night to be able to pitch?
Well, that's the other thing. We
Freak
didn't even mention that.
7?
He was on base 7 times.
7 times.
He had 2 home runs and 2 doubles in his first 4 at-bats last night. And he probably wants his jersey back.
But you could do that.
He doesn't want to.
I don't think your mind can produce a dream with 2 home runs and 2 doubles in it.
You know how in Little League ball, the field is quite a bit smaller than Major League ball?
Yeah.
I always had problem hitting the ball past second base. I don't know if it's because second base was a long ways out, or maybe the wind was always blowing in when I was batting. That was probably it.
Yeah.
Darn it, wind.
Man, the wind blowing in. All right, here's a look at our satellite radar. We've got light showers, actually some light rain, not really showers, up towards Seattle. Not all, but most of the light rain here on the west side for the time being has exited and is pushed east up toward Mount Hood, where it's some light precipitation. This is a day that I still think primarily goes on to be dry but cloudy. Winds are light. Beautiful shot of the fall foliage in front of our Capitol. But I tell you what, when the leaves fall, I'm going to miss this. It's been so pretty. 45 is the number. Portland, if you look at I-5, we've just barely had enough rain to make the pavement a little damp. 49 is the number out of PDX. So again, becoming mainly a cloudy, dry day. 51 at noon, 57 at 5 o'clock. Clouds will be increasing today and becoming cloudy over in central Oregon, and then kind of partly sunny as you go out farther to the east. And it could be a renewed chance of some light rain up around Astoria and Kelso during the day itself. But mainly what we're waiting for now is a solid rain band that will hit about midnight tonight. Portland could get a 1/4 inch of rain overnight tonight. We're talking like midnight. And then that would be gone by tomorrow morning. So today goes on to be mainly cloudy and dry, 57. Some rain overnight tonight. Becoming mostly sunny tomorrow on 60. Thursday, sunny, 61. Cloudy for Halloween. A dry morning. And then at some point in the afternoon into the evening, rain develops. At some point means I don't know when. But there is going to be rain overnight. And there's going to be rain Saturday. I'm still a bit traumatized by the wind always blowing in when I was batting, by the way. All right, here's my winter outlook. This is tomorrow. We'll do this at 6:45 and 8:45. This is an outlook that's been incredibly accurate the last few years, if I do say so myself. For example, Christopher, as we go to you. 2 years ago, we said if we got a big storm, it would be ice, not snow, and that storm would come the back half of February. That was an ice storm that hit February 19th. Shazam.
You did it. You did that long-range forecast better than anyone in the history of long-range forecasting.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the 7-day. I don't know what time it's going to rain tonight.
Yeah,
but it's winter outlook. In fairness, he's right. He did crush it. All right, let's get you out the door. We have better news on the west side. Certainly today than yesterday. But we had an earlier situation on the Sunset inbound near Bethany. It looks like that's cleared out. In fact, literally in the time that it took Rod to do his weathercast there, the backup that we had on that camera has flushed out. That said, still 30 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough, 36 minutes right now you're driving from Troutdale. I-5 improving out of Clark County. The I-205 drive, though, that still needs some help. We had a crash near SR-14 a little while ago. That's out of the way now, but still a little thick crossing the Columbia this morning. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
I announce my candidacy for governor of the great state of Oregon.
And with that, Republican State Senator Christine Drazen launches a second campaign for Oregon governor. She announced her decision to run again yesterday, saying that she'll restore Oregon to its, quote, core values.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz has more in a race that could amount to a close repeat struggle between Drazen and Governor Tina Kotek.
Well, the last time Christine Drazen and Governor Tina Kotek squared off in a governor's race, it was close. Kotek winning that one just by 3.5% back in 2022. This go round, Christine Drazen is focused on a flurry of things, but predominantly cutting taxes and making life a little bit more affordable for Oregonians. Take a listen.
That means cut taxes. It means rush permitting, grow our economy, get our parks and sidewalks back. Help people get sober and stay clean. More cops and fewer needles in our neighborhoods.
Drazen categorized Oregon as out of control under Kotek's leadership. Though some are surprised Drazen decided to run this year. Portland State professor Alexander Ross says being a Republican may be a liability for her this election cycle.
She is sort of a moderate politician in the Republican Party. And so she might have a little bit of difficulty corralling the rank and file behind her. At the same time, she has been really effective in consolidating power and organizing a bloc under a supermajority Democratic legislature.
Though Republican State Senator Mike McLean tells us he believes Drazen would be a wonderful governor, pushing back against that opinion by Ross. Still, guys, we're just getting going in this second race between the two. We got a long way to go until Election Day, so still a lot to be determined. In Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
In other local headlines, investigators say it appears Portland City Councilor Candace Avalos was not targeted this past weekend when a fire burned her home, her car, and her carport. They say it looks like it started in a storage shed next to the councilor's home, adding that there was no sign that someone used an accelerant or something similar to start the fire. Police say they're still working to nail down who exactly is responsible and determine a more specific cause.
Over the past year and a half, the city of Portland has installed fencing and concrete blocks along Southeast 57th and Powell in an effort to deter campers. So a city spokesperson told KGW that the changes, which cost about $23,000, are meant to, quote, harden the space. But people we spoke with say it's far from a solution.
Using tax dollars for methods that don't actually solve a problem is pretty problematic.
It does nothing, as you can see, does nothing to stop them.
Just to keep us out, and then we don't have no place to go.
So far this year, crews have removed tents from this section of Southeast Powell 9 times. Jeez. You can check out the full story anytime on KGW.com, KGW Plus, or on our YouTube channel.
Protests over immigration enforcement continue in Portland with the possibility of National Guard deployment here still held up in the court system. Last Friday, the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals temporarily suspended its earlier ruling to allow deployment here until 5 o'clock today. That extra time was set up to give the court more time to consider whether a larger panel of judges should rehear the matter. There's also a larger lawsuit at play after the states of Oregon and California, along with the city of Portland, sued the Trump administration over the planned deployment of Guard members. That trial is set to start tomorrow.
The NBA is reviewing how it handles sports betting after the Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and other NBA players were arrested for their alleged role in a gambling scheme. The league sent a memo to all 30 teams saying it's time to reassess betting rules to protect the integrity of the game. The focus includes how injury reports are shared, which is information gamblers can then use to place bets. The NBA is asking teams for input on new safeguards moving forward.
Back to action on the court. Check out this dunk by Shaden Sharp right there. Slamming it home. Here's another look. A little slow-mo for you. You get it. He got it. With that, Shaden Sharp became the youngest player in Blazers history to make 1,000 field goals. All right, LeBron James and Luka Doncic both sat this one out last night in Los Angeles. Still, though, a nice win for the Blazers. They beat the Lakers on the road, 122-108. Drew Holiday leading the way for the Blazers with 24 points. They are 2-2 on the season at this point, and they play again tomorrow night against the Jazz.
Portland's largest airline is expanding service. Alaska says it's launching new nonstop flights next May to Baltimore, Idaho Falls, Philadelphia, and St. Louis. The airline has also added a second flight to Newark, make Hawaii service year-round, among other changes.
There you go. All right, Chris, what do we have on the road as far as traffic goes?
We are getting better. Not that it was all that bad this morning. Yesterday was very easy to top how bad yesterday was. This morning, though, the end of the line on the I-5 Clark County commute has made its way down to the Interstate Bridge. That said, you still have about 35 minutes to get from there to the Fremont, so that's still a busy commute. I-205 improving a bit. Let's take you down to Tualatin, I-5 through the Tualatin area, and the 205 interchange still busy, but again, moving along okay for this hour. And we're still riding the brakes pretty hard on the inbound Sunset. Right now, that's a 27-minute ride to get you in from Hillsborough to the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Guys?
Thank you, Chris.
The snow stake's buried. I checked the Timberline webcam this morning, and it's all the way to the top of it. And I think that thing maxes out at like 18 inches.
There's a lot of excitement at Timberline this fall after the first big snowfall of the season at the resort. Will it take you up to Mount Hood when sunrise continues?
Hi, you know me, always trying to save you money, and food prices are so high right now. I'm looking for solutions for you to eat at home, which costs you less than eating at restaurants, which the prices have really exploded. That's why I like this product. It's the Cook and Repeat Indoor Smoke-Free Electric Grill. Indoor, you set your own temperature right over here. It's smoke-free because you pour a layer of water into that tray right there. That's what keeps the smoke out. You have the grill rack, you have the fry pan. I mean, I'm gonna use the fry pan for this test because, frankly, I like my burgers. And by the way, it's nonstick. I like the fat to stay in them. And I have some hot dogs here. You can see there's room for a lot more too. You could have more burgers, more hot dogs. You can fry an egg on here too. So, oh, by the way, it comes with these two. Wait until you see what these do. But let's let these cook. Okay, the burger is ready. The meat thermometer says so. By the way, they also make a meat thermometer. 30% off the meat thermometer today. So this electric grill, take a look at all this. This is normally $199.97. Today it's $119.99. That is 40% off. How cool is that? And you also get these right here. For this, you can take your burger, right? Put cheese onto it, stick it in here, and melt the cheese without cooking the burger anymore. Check it out. I even loaned it to a friend who loves grilling. He tried it out. Perfect fit to melt the cheese. Scan the QR code or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
There will be a moment in the telling of this next story where I'm going to need you to say how many inches, Drew. Okay? I think you'll know when it's time.
Okay.
So here we go.
Okay.
Over the past few days, so many inches of snow dropped on Mount Hood.
How many inches, Drew?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. 20 inches. 20 inches of snow dropped on the mountain.
Mylanta. Meteorologist Joy Neary brings us more on the conditions from Timberline.
Driving through the Oregon Cascades looks a lot different from what it did just a week ago.
It's the best place ever, honestly. It's amazing.
And the biggest snowstorm since last spring.
This is a good dump. I feel like end of October, we usually get one. I've been up here for the last like 10 or so years. But this is one of the deeper ones. There's a lot of snow up here.
Brought a lot of skiers and snowboarders back to their favorite peak.
The snow stake's buried. I checked the Timberline webcam this morning, and it's all the way to the top of it. And I think that thing maxes out at like 18 inches.
For Megan Olson, this snow gave her a chance for a more intense day on the slopes.
So splitboarding is when you can climb up on two skis, the skins hold the snow so you can get a good grip on it. Then once you get up there, you transition, you put the board together, and you can snowboard down.
The snow did catch some drivers off guard.
We kind of did, but I thought it would be like more like a mist than full-blown snow.
Amy Attaway, who describes herself as a Southern Belle, just moved here from Louisiana in June.
This is the most snow I've ever seen in my life. We got 7 inches in Baton Rouge last February, and they called it the 100-year snow because we've not had that much in 100 years.
The start of what everyone hopes will be a good winter in the mountains.
Please, guys, pray for snow every day.
So now everybody wants to know, when will the resorts open for the season? You're gonna have to wait a couple of weeks. On average, Timberline Lodge likes to open by mid-November. That's what they did last year. Hopefully they can do it again this year. Outside Timberline Lodge, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
All right, so we got to poke fun at that one gentleman. He seemed like a very nice young man. He's talking about the snow, and he said, I thought it would be more of a mist.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's snow!
You should have been here as that story was playing out. Rob was so taken aback by the gentleman's description of the snow. Who describes snow as mist? Not everyone is as in tune with the weather as you are.
Sure, he's a very nice young man. Mist? All right. Here's Timberline. There's what mist looks like when it's frozen and colored white and allowed to stack up to the tune of 20 inches and then plowed aside. That's Timberline Lodge this morning. 32 is the number up there. All right, here's a look at our radar. Light moisture up on the mountain currently. Still some light rain toying with some areas, like there's Longview. But generally that push of what was sprinkle/light rain has moved through the area this morning. So things are a little damp, including the bricks. The view from the Pioneer Park building, 49 degrees. The observations are back from the top of the hour, so somewhat coming up on 48 minutes old. It is dry out there right now in Portland. 45 down in Salem. 39 over in Bend. Clouds are going to be increasing as Central Oregon will cloud over today. Kind of increasing to partly sunny skies later on out in Baker City and Burns. Burns, you might just stay mostly sunny today. Futurecast shows that now for the most part the rain is ending, and overall this goes on to be a cloudy but dry day with light winds until we get into the evening. Here's 8 o'clock, rain approaching the coast. This is a pretty good front that comes through quickly overnight. Could drop a 1/4 inch of rain with a decent heavy rain rate that might wake you up. This is right around midnight. Quickly comes, quickly goes. And then by early tomorrow morning, it's gone. And then we go on to be mostly sunny tomorrow. And we have a sunny Thursday. So we have a couple of really nice days coming up. And today, with the light rain now starting to end in most areas, and mainly dry weather. It's going to be a nice Tuesday, 58 degrees in Salem, light winds. Similar numbers up into southwest Washington, battleground 57, southeast winds 5 to 15. 7-day, 57 today. Don't forget that rain band overnight tonight. Otherwise, sun on Wednesday, sun on Monday. A cloudy Halloween, a dry morning, and then at some point in the afternoon into the evening, rain arrives. The bulk of this rain now looks to be Friday overnight, Saturday. And there is some glimmer of hope that we could get into the evening hours dry, but at this point I still feel like a rainy evening for Halloween is probably the best call. Now it's birthday time. All right, who's having a party today? Yeah, Kaya's celebrating 11 today. Happy birthday to you in West Lynn. And here is Cherie, who is 14. I'm sorry, Cheryl is 14. Happy birthday to you. And Emily is 39 today. Happy birthday. Everybody's kind of getting dressed for the fall season. Got the hat on there. And Lori is 40 today. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. Beautiful picture with your cat. Happy birthday to you. Oh, and our own producer, Michael. Now, you may remember, Michael's mother was featured yesterday on our show on birthdays.
Yes.
Up in Tacoma. And here's Michael up at Pikes Market in Seattle, 24 today. Happy birthday to you, Michael.
You're telling me his mom had him when she was 1 day old.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's crazy.
That is crazy talk. Birthdays at KGW.com. We'll celebrate with you.
Speaking of crazy, thank you, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and bring up the drive out of Clark County. It is still pretty busy at the Interstate Bridge. Things have all of a sudden, we were flowing freely here a minute ago. I don't see anything on the bridge hanging up the drive, but it is all of a sudden gotten a little slow again. Still 30 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Meanwhile, over in Oregon City and West Linn, the drive on I-205, a little thick now both directions here. This is actually a little uptick in the traffic volume on that side of town. And last but not least, the inbound Sunset. Still pretty thick at the Sylvan Hill. Your drive coming in from Hillsboro at this hour, still averaging a half an hour to get you in from Brookwood Parkway, I-405. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, Starbucks workers across the country are picketing for better wages and staffing. Unionized shops in Southeast Portland and Hillsboro will be part of the picket line today as workers consider a full-blown strike. They're asking for pay above minimum wage and slightly higher levels of staffing. Workers are currently voting on whether to strike, but it's not clear when a decision will be made. Amazon has announced that it's planning to cut 14,000 corporate jobs as it invests more money into artificial intelligence. It's the largest round of layoffs at the company in years. Amazon says it will give impacted employees 90 days to look for a new role within the company. And the Oregon Health Authority Beach Monitoring Program has issued an alert for Cannon Beach at the Gower Creek because of the sewage spill that could expose people to fecal bacteria. The sewage spill has been cleaned up and tests are being done. But if you visit the area, avoid wading in nearby creeks, pools of water on the beach, or into discolored water.
Last bit of information is always helpful, by the way, the discolored part. Here's our 7-day forecast. 57, mainly cloudy today. We have the rain overnight tonight. A couple sunny days before rain develops during the PM hours of Halloween.
All right, let's get you out the door. Quick look at your drive times, which are improving. I mean, anything's an improvement over yesterday. 30 minutes now, you're driving from Brookwood Parkway to the Visitors Tunnel. That's the Sunset, of course. I-205 getting better out of Clark County. The I-5 drive still pretty thick at the Interstate Bridge, guys. That's still about a 31-minute ride from bridge to bridge, Interstate to Fremont.
All right, besides being Tuesday, did you know today is also National Chocolate Day?
Okay.
We should celebrate the occasion with some chocolate, of course. But before we get to that, here are some fun chocolate facts.
Yes.
Chocolate dates back more than 3,000 years. In fact, it was once used as currency in Aztec and Mayan civilizations.
Valuable stuff.
Really?
Currency.
What if it melted?
Not worth as much. And it takes about 400.
That's called a liquid asset.
Oh, very good. Oh. It takes about 400 cacao seeds to make 1 pound of edible chocolate. And planting cacao trees takes a lot of patience, with the average tree taking almost 5 years to bear any fruit.
Wow.
The fruit of your labor. technically, based on what we just told you, technically cacao and therefore chocolate is a fruit.
So you're eating healthy, essentially.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
knew that actually, yeah.
So Jay Lundenberg, our trusty Sunrise editor, ran into the studio a moment ago and brought us some chocolate. Now, I don't know if you've had this yet. This is the one that you actually eat with the wrapper on, Rod.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, you can just pop it right in. Nah, you had to unwrap it. Yay. Okay, because we didn't know what else to do with the final.
Popping it in.
Yeah. We didn't know what else to do with the final minute of today's show, so we thought, why don't we just eat chocolate in front of them? And here we go.
No, it's not really hot.
Yeah, we're not going to say much from this point on. Just going to enjoy our chocolate. We do thank you for watching. Can't believe you're still here.
But thank you.
As long as you're still here.
It's like the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What are you doing here? It's over. But we still have time to tell you this show, this Sunrise show, can be watched throughout the day. You can watch it on repeat. Whatever floats your boat. You can do all that thanks to KGW Plus. Thanks for finding us on KGW Plus. And we hope to see you here tomorrow on KGW Plus.